this thing called mirroring. It's a reflection or a replication of something. That something, at least when it comes to communication, is people. Of course, the theory is much more complex than just reflecting or replicating the actions of people. To help us understand further, let's look at some of the areas associated with mirroring. In this presentation, we're going to identify the concept of mirroring and how it is used in communication. We are then going to determine some effective and not so effective ways of using mirroring. And lastly, let's explore situations in which mirroring can be useful to you and the person you are communicating with. When we are mirroring, we often do so without even realizing it's occurring. Take these two ladies for example. They seem to be enjoying a very healthy dialogue between one another. Notice the pace of each of their walk together, side by side. And how about their facial expressions? The laughter followed by simultaneous eye contact. Their responses to one another are nearly identical. When we are mirroring, we are assuming the same posture, the same gestures, the same tone, the same mannerisms that significantly increase the probability of bonding with another person. Can you see the mirrored body language here? Both right hands in the pocket, holding their cup of coffee in the same hand, and as if on cue, they both stop to lean in. The mimicry or imitation of nonverbal gestures are an indicator of a positive relationship being formed. We call this experience a moment of building rapport. The use of mirroring can occur consciously or unconsciously and varies upon who we are communicating with, whether done intentionally or unintentionally. We respond to both verbal and nonverbal communication differently depending on who we are engaging. The variations are amongst partners, friends, co-workers, psychologists, customer clients, adversaries, and groups versus one-on-one settings. When done in the right setting and in the right manner, mirroring is highly effective in networking, perhaps meeting someone in a new social gathering or connecting with new colleagues, or in negotiations where you are trying to haggle a price for a good or convince a customer why your service is more personal than another. The mirroring technique is even great for interviews of potential clients, sealing the deal by building congruency in mannerisms. Some effective results of mirroring include an increased perception of rapport, an increased communication in educational settings, the increase of retention of information, and the increase in the probability of finding common ground and harmony in conversations. Some of the things we want to do leading up to mirroring is first making a connection. Make listening and understanding the other person a top priority. Start by nodding and tilting your head as you're listening. Try matching the other person's vocal tone and pace. If that works, move on to mirroring gestures and postures. Don't try to fake it by pretending to be interested when you're not. You're almost certain to be found out, resulting in damaging the relationship. Here are some things you do not want to do. I stress again, do not pretend to be interested when you're not. Second, do not mirror negative nonverbal signals, such as crossing arms in front of your body or stepping back. Do not try to copy the person's gestures, movements, and expressions precisely. And lastly, do not devote so much energy to mirroring that you feel stressed. Now, when it comes to the use of this very effective tool, there are no shortcuts here. It takes a bit of practice to become an everyday staple of your communication with others when done deliberately. Mirroring is not only demonstrating that you are hearing what a person has to say, but also feeling and showing what that person has to say. It's about improving the way we collaborate with one another. It's about making an effort to form bonds across different cultures, recognizing that we have a lot more in common when we look beyond our physical appearances. This tool not only helps us improve our personal communication skills, but too improves the communication within our businesses, our organizations, and our families. Because people not only hear they are being heard, but they feel they are being heard. Who are some of the people in your life that you can establish rapport with by using the mirror technique today? In building that rapport, we see that mirroring is not a reflection of just you. It's a reflection of you and the people you are communicating with. A reflection of you and me.